20 to 9 looks really good. First cumulus are already here since about half an hour, and now I have to hurry up to get up in the air. See you. Since a long time I'm working on a 1000 kilometer glider flight in the flatlands, departing from my home airfield. I have already done a few 1000 kilometer flights, but not in our usual gliding area. They were always done in the Austrian Alps using additional ridge lift, which helps to gain distance in the evening when thermals have already stopped. Additionally, they were never pre-declared, so I am missing the official FAI 1000 km diploma. So my goal is to combine those two things together. I saw the next chance coming up for me at the end of May 2021. But before we get started, I would like to ask you for your support. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell. This helps me in making my videos, and further on I would be happy if you leave me a comment in the section below after watching the video. So on that day, good soaring weather was forecasted with an early start and long-lasting thermals in the evening. Perfect preconditions for such a long flight. I declared the task over 1018 kilometers. Starting in the hilly terrain in the northwest of my home airfield, I declared the task over 3 turn points over some of the best gliding spots in Germany. The first clouds appeared very soon as forecasted. Already at 8:30 local time, the first cumulus clouds could be seen. Shortly before 9, I got up in the air behind the tow plane. To take full advantage of the FAI rules, I towed up to 1000 meters above the estimated finish point, resulting in starting the task above cloud base. As a lesson learned in the past, I stayed high in the beginning.
Half past 9, the first climb. Very weak. Quite difficult to stay up in the air, but half past 9 and that's okay.
Soon the conditions got better and I could speed up.
Quarter to 10. The first peak climb rates up to 3 meters. Okay.
More and more clouds were developing now and I could fly high and fast.
Okay, 10:30. The große hour is already behind me, so the first 120 kilometers are done. And now straight ahead, the low terrain area of Futtermalde and Kamp. Not really known for good thermals.
And this turned out to be true again. Good looking clouds, but no adequate lift to find underneath. I ended up quite soon very low. This is exactly what you want to avoid on a 1000 kilometer task. I had to fight really hard to avoid starting the engine or to land out. Finally I managed to stay up in the air, but the low flying had cost me a lot of time. After the save I still was not very high and I had troubles finding good thermals. The race against the clock became imminent. With reaching the Fichtelgebirge, the thermals finally got really good and I could climb to 2000 meters the first time on that day. Now I was back on track.
Okay, 20 minutes past 12. 100 kilometers to the first turn point, but clouds are disappearing straight ahead. So I have to decide whether if I stay on the declared task or if I go for a 3000 kilometers, and I tend to the last option. 70 kilometers before the turn point, it's getting blue, so I think it's time to turn around. Just take the last clouds here. And okay, let's turn around. See, another time. Inselberg.
So I gave up the pre-declared task and went out for the free 1000 kilometers. I expected better conditions to the east than to the north. I could see some kind of outspreadings over the Erzgebirge and thought I'd stay north of it where the cloud coverage was less. As it turned out soon, this was a mistake.
Okay, now I'm approaching the Erzgebirge, and it seems that there is again this humidity because the clouds, they look good but they aren't good.
After about 80 kilometers, I was not able to find adequate lift and got even lower than I was at Kamm. After realizing that staying north of the Erzgebirge was not a good decision, I went directly there, hoping to encounter better conditions. After setting the second turn point, the situation finally improved. Having also now a little tailwind instead of a headwind, I managed to climb to cloud base again.
Yes, finally, conditions are getting now really bad again. Now more than 4 meters climb rate. That's fine. Okay, let's go.
And flying the Erzgebirge down to the southwest was really fun. Approaching Tell Heidsberg, I reconsidered the way ahead. I remembered a chat with Markus, a German glider pilot, who told me about his strategy in the evening. Keeping far enough away before turning back home helps to keep the focus and motivation to fly at proper speed. And this is what I wanted to do. I decided to fly again to the northwest in order to gain more distance. Nice looking clouds encouraged me to this decision.
Okay, fourth leg. I turned to the northwest again at around Tell Heidsberg. Now I'm trying to continue 30 kilometers and then maybe back home or not. We will see. Going to be excited.
Furthermore, as I have shortened the way to the declared turn point before, I was missing the distance. As I wanted to keep at least a small chance for the 1000 kilometers, I needed to extend my flown distance. At 35 minutes past 4, I finally turned around and headed home, more than 300 kilometers away. The last thermals were forecasted for about 7:30, so I had less than 3 hours left. I tempted fate if I could make it home without engine or not.
5 o'clock local time. It's a race against the clock. It was the whole day and continues like that. A little bit higher would be fine.
A nice surprise waited for me at 5:30.
5:30, almost 5 meters per second climb rate. Yeah, that looks good.
After this outstanding climb, I was at the position where you want to be late in the evening, close to cloud base, where you can take benefit of small lift underneath large clouds.
20 minutes past 6, so I think it's time to release the water. Ballast.
But time flew fast and slowly I had to switch to the stay high strategy. Speed is then not the focus anymore. Fly as high as possible to take the most benefit of the clouds and to have as much range available from altitude as thermals are getting rare. Nevertheless, slowly I got lower and lower. Mentally I complained at the weather forecasters and thought, hey, you promised me the last thermal for 7:30. It's not even close to this time and I need a thermal now. Then at 7:10 they sent me a decent lift which took me up to cloud base at 2300 meters, having a remaining distance of 85 kilometers to my home airfield. How nice was that?
We're gonna make it.
I carefully continued towards the east. I was pretty sure that I could make it at least to Eferding, a neighboring airfield. But the final glide there was pretty marginal. I did not expect to find a thermal anymore, as it was already getting really late.
Okay, I think it's more or less final glide, 7:30. To my end point, which would be Eferding Airport, 34 kilometers, and I've got pretty exactly 1000 meters. Should do, basically. Hopefully it will.
Then, suddenly, out of nothing, the indicator of my barometer began to point upwards. Believe it or not, at 8 I could find another thermal shot before Eferding, which took me up again several hundred meters.
Yeah, maybe I can extend my final guide. 8.
After the very last thermal I went on to final glide, and there was another surprise for me. Some club mates went out with powered planes to accompany me on the last kilometers. A nice act of friendship which really left me proud and happy.
Es ist mir eine Ehre, da Begleitung zu haben auf die letzten Meter.
Approaching my home airfield from the west, I have to fly the last kilometers over densely populated area. As I only want to do this with sufficient margin, I decided to start the engine while still over landable terrain. The last kilometers would not have counted anyway to the total distance, as I was already more than 1000 meters below my release altitude. At the end I didn't know if I finally made the 1000 kilometers or not. However, the flight was really outstanding and I was very happy about it.
Es war auf jeden Fall ein saugeiler Flug.
I enjoyed the evening with my club mates, but at some point I uploaded the flight to check the final distance flown. Okay, let's have a look if it was 1000 kilometers or not. No! And if you want to know how the story continues, subscribe here.